Hello, a community of spouses. Listen, I had to come on this evening and share with you some transparency. One of the roles since I've been married that has been the hardest for me to show up to each and every day is being a wife. I use this YouTube page kind of like as my personal diary in a sense. Just kind of sharing some of the things that I go through from day to day in my own marriage and just things that God helps me with from day to day. One of the things that God has been speaking to me about lately is that He's all I need. He's all I need. He's all I need. If I continue to abide in Him, He abide in me. If I continue to abide in Him, He abide in me. And I am a very, I stay connected to the vine on a regular. I may not necessarily read it every day, but I try to get the words and I get it and I listen to it on like I listen to the radio. I keep my earpieces in. I keep me some word in me just because the evil one is slick, okay? And I don't like fooling with him. Some days he still catch me off guard, but for the most part, I try to stay under the umbrella of God. Not perfect, but I definitely try to stay underneath God's umbrella. Even with doing that each and every day, it is still hard most days to show up as a wife. The role as wife itself is challenging. I enjoy it. I like it, but it is very challenging. And so I wanted to share this with some of my SuperWives on this evening. The journey that we're on and the things that God has for us to do is hard. There's no other way to say it. It's hard. But God is doing something in us that's working something out much, much far better than what we can see right now in our present eye. He's doing something so much greater in us that is going to be so much better for us in our latter days. I want to dedicate this to my superhero. I was going through some really tough times at one point in my marriage, and my superhero was my superhero. If it was not for her, I would not have made it to the finish line. And even afterwards, it was still been some times where I have leaned on her, depended on her, and I thank God for her each and every day for those moments. I think sometimes one of the frightening things, being in my shoes in particular, is I don't want to be the only one. I don't want to be the only one on this side fighting. And I kind of sometimes be like, oh, if I got somebody else doing it with me, if somebody else is fighting with me, if somebody else is, is trying hard for their family with me, like it would make it a little bit more easy. But when you feel like you're just doing it alone, and you feel like the outsider, you kind of feel like you're just on the outside. And so I want to just encourage superwomen, superwives to don't throw in the towel. Even if it's not working out in your favor right now, don't throw in the towel. Even if it doesn't look like it's going right, it's fair, don't throw in the towel. Listen, I want other wives standing with me. It'll make it easier if I have more people standing with me versus me like I'm standing by myself. Don't throw in the towel. It is hard each and every day showing up as a wife, but God is my strength. The Bible tells us in Psalms, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Whom should I be afraid of? And so I want to just encourage wives, super wives, the ones that feel like they're at the edge, like in a minute, one more word and I'm jumping. Like, for those wives that are at their wits' end, my prayer for you on this evening is for God to strengthen you and grace you with whatever it is you need, for God to be your food on this evening, for God to feed your soul what it is that you are missing, what it is that you're lacking, what it is that's trying to overtake that moment of you wanting to give up. Listen, sometimes I go through a depression sometimes, and I think it's warfare. I don't really think it's. I think it's the evil one. Sometimes when I come on here and share great news with other wives, he tried to attack me, and it puts me down for a few days. But God is great. God is great. God is faithful. About 3 days, I'm back up again. God gets me up and he helps me get through it, and I'm back up again. And I come right back on here. I ain't scared of him. I come right back on here and start sharing God's good news again, because I know it's God that keeps me. I'm not bragging. I'm not boasting on myself. I'm boasting about my God and his faithfulness and how he carries us. And so I just really want to just give my superwoman a shout out, my superhero, and just tell her to just be encouraged. God has not forgotten you. Don't stop talking to God. I just want to just emphasize that. John 15:4-7. Abide in him, he will abide in you. Feed yourself his word. Feed yourself his word. Get into his presence. Get into worship. Get into that one-on-one with him. Feed yourself his word. God hears your cries. Our husbands may not always understand us, even though the Bible tells them to dwell with us in understanding. They don't understand us sometimes, and God is calling us to something so much higher, to something so much greater. Is working something out so much greater in us than what we can see right now in our present eye. So, superhero, I'm praying for you to get up, to get up, to get up. I'm praying for the Lord to place his hands around you, to speak to you, to strengthen you, and to help you during this time. I'm praying for God to whisper to your husband's ear and just help him to be reminded and show him. I pray for holy convictions to fall on husbands on this evening, God, for holy convictions to take place, God, not to condemn them, not to make them feel bad, not to beat them down with shame and guilt, but just for a holy conviction, God, so a shift can take place in marriages, God. I'm praying for shifting to take place, God. We've been in these areas for some time now. Some of us are on the edge. Like one more, you blow, it's over. Like I'm done. It is hard, wives, to show up each and every day as a wife and give it your all. It's hard, wives, to continue to perform daily, giving it your all, feeling overworked and unappreciated. It is hard, but God is faithful, and do not think he do not see the things that you're doing and the things that you're sacrificing, the things that you're suffering through for your marriage. God sees it, and he is our rewarder. Hold on to that. God is our rewarder. He will come through. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will surely come to pass. I pray that this be a blessing. Superhero, I'm praying for you. Blessings.